Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel all about VA. In this video I am going to quickly take you through loading an XML file from copy activity. Okay, I have this XML file in my data lake storage. This is a pretty simple XML file with the details of books. Okay, it have 12 records. So what I am expecting the copy activity to do is it has to convert this XML file into a text file with 12 records. Okay, because we have 12 book details here, so we need 12 records. Meanwhile, I want to ignore a particular word. For example, if I don't want this fantasy word to be loaded or parsed, I want to make it null, right? How can I do? Okay, so wherever I have this fantasy word, it has to be read as null. How can we do that using copy activity? That's what I'm going to tell you. Okay, in my example I'll just take null test. Wherever I'm going to see this null test, I'm going to read it as null. Okay, so this is what we are going to achieve. So just remember, under book 02 you have this word null test. So when the copy activity or when the XML source is connected, wherever it is seeing null test, it's going to be treated as null. How that is going to happen, I'll tell you now. So here this is my XML data set. Okay, in data lake storage I chose the type of the file as XML and pointed to my XML file. If you look at the data, it will not exactly be showing as XML but as JSON. But if you look at it, right, in book 02, this is the book 02 ID, you are seeing it, right? Under the ID you are seeing published data as null. In my file for book 02, under published date only, I had the keyword null test. I will show you that. So under published date I am seeing this null test keyword as well as in book 02 and book 03 you are seeing this null test for published date. Okay, so whenever my data source is having such keyword null test, it is to be read as null. So coming back here, if you look at here, published date is looking null, published date is null here as well in two records. Okay, how that happens is there is a field called null value here. Whatever you mention here, that will be treated as null. You can't mention more than one value here. Okay, if your requirement is to convert more than one keyword into null, it's better to be done by using Azure functions or batch activity. Okay, so this is one simple thing that I have almost ignored all these days but came across this yesterday, so just wanted to discuss with you. This is according to documentation, it says it is the string representation of null. What I thought is whenever there is a null in your file and if you give null test here, it will replace null by null test, but it is the opposite case. Whenever your source is going to bring this keyword null test, it is going to be read as null. Okay, I will show you that as well. Right now I showed you, right? In the preview itself, it is considering that null test as null. Under the published date you can see. Okay, so coming back to the pipeline, so with respect to source, we don't have to worry much about anything else, but just that we have to say detect data type. Okay, just choose this for detecting the data types correctly. And one more thing I want to say here, in case you have a null in the first record, okay, what it is doing is internally it is looking at the first record to determine the data type of the tags or data, okay, or fields. So in case there is a null coming in any of these fields, right, then the copy activity is failing. Okay, so by default it is looking at the first record or first set of first tag, whatever it is, book tag, travel tag, whatever it can be, but it just looks at the first record, and if it encounters a null there, then the copy activity fails. I will show you that. Right now I don't have a null here in book 01. I'm going to run my pipeline, and before that I would just show you my sync. There is nothing much specific here, it's all default. Okay, coming to mapping tab, I have to clear this to show you something. I'll import schema. In our file, I'll just open the file one more time to explain the schema. Okay, so here if you look right, we have a catalog tag which is the root tag in our case. Inside catalog we have books. Okay, these books are going to be read as records. So coming back here, I have imported schemas, and then under the collection reference you have this catalog object and book array. I'm just clicking the book array, and then we have, if you're looking at here right, it is just reading the first record. Okay, and we have to make this read all the records, otherwise we will only be seeing the first record or first book being read. So I'm just replacing all these by the simple tag. And if you look at the type right, it is all any, it's not considering, or we cannot import the schema during design time. Okay, during runtime it determines, and it fails whenever the first record is bringing null. Okay, and then I'm not changing anything here, I'm just leaving it as such. I'm running my pipeline. Pipeline is run. So let's look at the output directory to see how records are written. See here, this is book 01, book 02, book 03, and then coming back here, if you look at this position, there is no record at all. So wherever we had null test, it is considered as null and it is not returned to the sync. Okay, this is how it works. Alright, coming back here, and I will show you how it throws error when the first record is. I'm not sure how we can circumvent this. I'll research more on it and let you know whenever I have some update, but just wanted to let you know that these are the constraints when you go with the copy activity for XML parsing. So if I have this null test here, or even null, it need not be null test. If it is even null also, it's going to fail. Okay, I'm running the pipeline again. One more thing is I haven't tried this with data flow as well. Next thing I'll do that. How data flow treats this and how it handles the data type when the first record is null. So I'll let you know. It's going to fail. See, data type of column prop2 cannot be inferred from first row of data. Please specify its data type in the mapping of copy activity or structure of dataset. In structure of dataset, we have no option to import schema. See here, there is no option to import schema in the XML source. So when you try to go to mapping tab and mention the prop2 under publish date only we mentioned right, or genre. Okay, so under genre I'll say string. It wants us to explicitly mention the type, right? I'm just trying that and running. So after I mentioned the data type explicitly here, right, I ran the pipeline and it succeeded. So when you look at the output also, in the first record we had null in the genre field. See here, third field. So it is read correctly. So if you have a very big XML file and all, it might be little tricky to choose the data type explicitly, but in case your first record is going to bring any null, right, for any column, then it's always better you mention the data types explicitly. Okay, so like how I mentioned here. So that is one workaround, but while reading itself, if we can do something, that I'll just research and let you know. Okay, so this is all for this video. What we have gone through in this video is how to use an XML source and how to choose the collection reference, how to replace the name of the collection reference, I mean the fields if they are nested, because it's going to be considering only 0th index. So how to mention the tag names directly, and then we also saw how to use the null field in the source data set. Null value is nothing but whenever it is saying null test in the source file, it is going to replace it with a null. Okay, and if there are more than one such requirement, we cannot use this way. All right, and apart from that, we just saw whenever the first record is going to bring null for any of the fields, how can we handle that. So that's it for this video. In case you have any questions or comments, I request you to post it in the comment section, and if you haven't subscribed, request you to subscribe. Thank you so much.